So the 2-point attempt comes up short, but Amherst has the 6-0 lead right now over Starpoint in the first quarter here on WNY Athletics.
So, folks, sorry, we had an internet issue that happened. Our internet went completely blank on us right there, so we lost our feed. We apologize for that. We are back up and running right now. Do you want to let everybody know what happened, kind of what we missed? If you can give everybody a little bit of a recap right there.
Yes, for sure. For the Tigers, they took, after the fake punt, they ended up taking the opening drive, went all the way down the field, and it was finished on a 6-yard touchdown pass. Tigers attempted to go for 2. However, they were sacked on that by Starpoint's defense. But for Amherst, that's a big early blow to score the first points.
You know, absolutely, but it's still first points up on the board, right, which is huge right there for this team to get things rolling. Remember, at this point right now, Amherst has actually outscored Starpoint right now 19-0, right? And what Starpoint is looking right now to do something for the first time, and that's put points up on the board.
Kickoff goes out of bounds along that near sideline, so obviously that'll draw the penalty flag.
So the question is whether they're going to make them re-kick that or not, or are they going to bring this one out? So let's see what they decide. I think they're going to make them re-kick it.
I'm a little surprised by that. You would almost think Starpoint would want to take it, get really good field position. Maybe they think they can get a bigger return, or by having them kick a little further away.
Well, obviously, look at where they're going. So they don't think that they've really got somebody who can really, boot one. So they're thinking exactly that. Let's have you kick it, try to get our guy to return it because we are going to get better field position because of that.
So a calculated risk here, but hey, you're in the playoffs, so you know what? You got to take risks sometimes, Tom, and that's what Starpoint's doing here. I think it might be a good one to take, though.
Hey, look at Amherst did it already, right, with the fake punt.
And that kickoff blasted over the head, but he fielded it around the 15, takes it back to the 20, spins into a defender at around the 25, and Starpoint took that gamble. It did not appear to come up the way they wanted, though, Tom.
And you got to give right now the kicker a credit, right? Because he wasn't they weren't going back far enough, didn't think he could go out there, and he does it, and now gives his team that advantage that he needed by pushing Starpoint back farther back.
And that was Brody Saunders. It appeared on that return for Starpoint, and he was playing more in, so went over his head almost like an outfielder, had to go back and field it. As it's going to be a 1st and 10 for Starpoint out of the shotgun. Screen pass towards the far sideline across 25. Weaves his way to the 30. Turns the corner. Got the sideline across the 40 and knocked out of bounds there. So a nice pickup as he was able to just get it away from the pressure, get it out, and pick up a nice chunky yards there, Tom, for another first.
Quick, right now, what you do is, especially when you know a defensive line can get pressure, you got to get the ball out past the tackles. Great job early on to get that ball out past the tackles.
Handoff again, goes straight up the gut, fighting his way across the 45, still churning, almost like an Energizer battery. Takes a limb, but keeps on ticking. He goes up for about a gain of 5 or 6 on the play, 2nd down.
Starpoint moving the ball real well early in this game. This is what you needed to see right now because they're going to need to match what is happening on the other side of the ball with Amherst.
Out of the shotgun again, and a player jumped on Amherst. I think this is probably going to be either an offside or a neutral zone infraction, but we will see what the call is.
They did offsides.
So it is an offside call, pretty obvious. Just got a little too aggressive there, Tom.
Yeah, he jumped. You saw that. There's no doubt about it. And even he knew it because he walked back and kind of threw his hands up there. So no doubt he knew it also.
Starpoint now has the ball just inside Amherst territory. Ball on the left hash of the 49. Backs in the eye. One receiver either side of the formation. The snap, and it's a handoff up the middle. Trucks his way forward for a pickup of 2 or 3 on the play. And, I think one point that I was mentioning earlier, but it kind of I think may have just gotten lost. I think what's going to be another key when you have two run-heavy offenses, how do you disguise it? You can't be in the eye or the split eye all the time. The defense is going to be ready for that. I think the key is going to be how they disguise their packages.
Oh, no doubt. And obviously these teams know each other real well, right? They've seen the film. They've played each other. They know each other's tendencies at this point. So you are obviously going to have to win certain spots and do some things a little bit differently.
Starpoint operating again out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Shotgun snap, fading back, fires it to our far side. Got his man across the 35, and then he is tied up and dragged backwards, but that's still a big completion there as he hit the wide receiver, Phil Purinelli, who's been big for Starpoint this year. First time calling his name tonight, Tom, but a huge gain. What a dart, though, thrown in there. What a beautiful-looking pass from, I believe, Mike Grady. Just a wonderfully thrown football, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 here. Another play, a screen towards the near sideline, sidesteps the defender across the 35, gets down to about the Amherst 32 or 33, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And so far we've seen, Tom, both these teams, high-tempo offense. They like to move that ball, and so far they're having their way.
Even the passes, very quick, right? We've seen 2 screen passes, 1 to each side of the field is what we've seen. Really, the longest play may have been the last pass play that went through right there. You're seeing both teams try to utilize the run game or quick screens, in essence, with your running back to also utilize that run play still.
3 receivers to the left, 1 wide to the right, running back off the left shoulder. Quarterback again out of the shotgun look. 4 on the line for the Tigers. Showing blitz, shotgun snap, fades back. LaPlante fires it near side, looking for Purinelli, but that gets broken up. And again, it looked to be another good throw from Gage LaPlante, who was the starting quarterback tonight for Starpoint. Just could not complete it that time. Good job on defense by the Tigers.
I thought LaPlante put it right there. He really had it for his receiver right there. I thought that was a great throw where he fitted into a very small window right there. Great job there by LaPlante to try to get that 1st down, because that would have, if that was completed, a 1st down for Starpoint.
So it's going to be a 3rd down here for the Spartans. They're lining up with 2 receivers either side. Really looking to spread it out here. Empty backfield, the snap. LaPlante fades back, zips it down the near sideline. Got a man across 30. Nice move to get to the 25 and then drag down at around the 24 of the Tigers. Boy, that was a good move there on the cutback. He zigged, the defender zagged, and he ended up picking up a couple extra yards because of it.
Yeah, well, Kyler Lee's the one who catches that one, does a great job of, you said cut to get the 1st down, right? You needed those extra yards to make sure you get that 1st down. He does a great job of making that happen right there.
Lee showing off how elusive he is right there, as it is now a 1st down for the Spartans. LaPlante under center, backs in the offset eye. The snap and a handoff straight up the middle and draw. Gets away from a defender. Breaks free of another. Gets across the 15, almost the 10. And he is brought down there. But boy, what a run. It looked like the Tigers had him dead to rights right at the line of scrimmage. And he just busted through for that nice gate.
The twice we've seen second effort. Both teams, right? You see Richardson. We saw Nichols on that play that it would have been 4th down if he would have stopped. 3 hits that he gets hit before the 1st down happens. He busted out. Richardson says, guess what? I'm going to now do the same exact thing.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Hand off towards that far side as they again go right up the A-gap, but only a couple of yards that time. And so that will bring up a 2nd down here for the Spartans, who are moving in towards a potential game-tying score. As, again, LaPlante going to work out of the shotgun. 2 receivers operated to his left, 3 spread out wide to the right. And that is the end of the first score. Our score right now, Amherst, a 6-0 lead. Boy, that was a quick-moving first quarter right here on WNY Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Hey, Tom and John, we see that the Starpoint offense is driving with quarterback Gage LaPlante. Him and his brother are actually known more for their prowess on the wrestling mat. They'll certainly be getting ready for that as soon as this game is over, I'm sure. But it's really interesting to see Gage has stepped up really in his junior season. He wasn't even planning to be on the quarterback until 2 weeks before the season. He has just learned the past few months how to play quarterback, and he's really done a great job. We covered those two, him and his brother, early in the season in our Western New York Athletics football magazine. And one thing Coach Tracy said, he actually thinks their wrestling actually helps them on the football field because it really creates mental toughness and and physical toughness as well. So, Tom, John, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Francis. Second quarter getting set to get rocking and rolling here from Amherst High School. 6-0 Tigers, but the Spartans are right on the doorstep. LaPlante out of the shotgun, rolling right, fires it that way, far side, brought in, touchdown for the Spartans, and just like that, both teams now, Tom, have taken their opening drive right down the field, and I think we might be in for an offensive shootout tonight. We are now tied at 6. What a huge response by Starpoint.
100% agree right there, especially because you got to remember that's the first points they put up on the board against them this season, right? So that's 5 straight quarters they went without points. Now they're there, and now they know we're in this game, we're ready to play.
Extra point attempt upcoming here. Kick is up, and it is straight down the middle. Splits the uprights. It is good, and Starpoint now takes the 7-6 lead over Amherst. And I think what this drive kind of showed was that Starpoint, last week they had to go on the road to beat Williamsville East. And, they were able to, be the underdog and win on the road. And I think they're taking that experience to that drive right there. They didn't panic because they got behind early.
Listen, I thought the big win of the season really for them was against Western New York Maritime Health Sciences. That was their win right there because that had the chance to vault them into the playoffs, right? That was their game that they felt, wow, we've really come here. We're ready to go. I'm going to tell you, though, this team, watch out. They are getting more and more momentum that's going to lead into next year. This team is going to be someone we're going to be talking about next year. A lot of youth on this team, especially when you got a quarterback coming up that believes what he does believe and is the athlete he is. There is a lot of things right now that Starpoint is going to get excited about right here.
And I think the one thing they can be excited about right this second, Tom, they now have the 7-6 lead. So we'll see how Amherst counters back again. But it's been a great start to this game so far.
And you noticed you did say one thing, and we'll talk about it after the kickoff.
As it's feeling near side, fumbled, and did Starpoint come up with it? They seem to think so. Yes, the Spartans take the ball away from the Tigers. Well, I guess the Amherst response ended before it could even begin, Tom. It's Starpoint football. Wow.
Amherst, his own player knocked that out of his hands. I don't know if you saw that, but as he was coming up, his own player hits the ball out of his hands. Starpoint actually...
Unfortunate break for the Tigers.
It is. That's exactly what you look at it. It's an unfortunate break, and Starpoint's got to capitalize on this. But you said something. Boy, that first quarter moved quickly. When you got two teams that are going to run the ball and move the ball like this, that's exactly what you're going to see, is that clock is going to move today.
LaPlante working out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 3 to the right. Shotgun snap. Play fake and air it out deep near side. Got a man and in and out of the hands. At around the 15-yard line of Amherst, you could see Starpoint wanted to go big for the home run ball there. Tom just could not make the play, and it'll be second down for the Spartans. So it'll be second down and 10 now. The intended recipient was Luke Davis on that play. So instead, it's now second down. But you could see Starpoint, they were running. They wanted to mix it up a little bit there. Went to the air.
Yeah, and that you have to, right? You can't go one-dimensional right now. And again, their touchdown was by pass.
Snap, handoff straight up the middle. LaPlante met right at the line, stuck and dragged backwards by that Tigers defense. and it looks like maybe Grady Brown got involved in there. There were a couple Tigers right there, though, ready to bring him down, and it's third and long. I'll tell you what, if the Tigers' defense can hold here, what a big momentum boost for Amherst.
Absolutely. If you could get them to go 3 and out, that's a win right there. That really is. Now, but remember, you're flirting where you're going to go for this, right? This is that area that is both teams could be going for this. So the question is, do you look to just get a good chunk of this right now to try to go for it on 4th down?
So they're going to go out of the shotgun again. LaPlante through Sears right to the left. Shotgun snap, rolling right. Blitz coming, trying to get away. Gets away from a couple, turns the corner around the 40. Still going, but he is going to be dragged down well shy of what would be a first. So it's going to be at around the 38, 4th down.
I love when you got guys that are in the trenches that never give up on a play. And I want to point out on this one, Jaden Reed on this one, number 62. You see him come out, and he had to chase LaPlante clear across the field, comes from behind, and is the first one to get him out there. That's somebody who didn't give up on a play and make sure he was in it all the way to the end. That's a kid, I'm going to tell you, I want on my team every day of the week.
No arguments here, as it's going to be a 4th down. They're going for it. So Starpoint lines up 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, man in motion. Shotgun snap, but then whistles come in as they blow the play dead. Timeout called. And we will step aside. You are watching WNY Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about what if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
And we welcome you back here to Amherst High School. 2nd quarter, John Kruba, Tom Prince. Starpoint going for it. Shotgun snap, fakes, rolling left, and he's going to fire it near side. Picked off! It's intercepted at the Amherst 20-yard line, and I believe it was Wyatt Bear, number 4, who was able to jump that route, picked it off, and Tom Amherst was able to hold, and now they get at their own 21-yard line. What a defensive stand. If Amherst comes back to win, bookmark that.
Great point. I mean, literally, teams could easily, after a play like that, right, where you had the turnover on special teams, drop your heads, right? Drop your heads, give up, something negative happened, and that's not what you saw right there. That's a big defensive stop right there by Amherst.
Now let's see if that can give the offense more of a boost. You know, they scored on their opening drive. Going to line up under center. Backs in the eye. Hand off to the right side, but only a pickup of 1 or 2 at the most. And then he was met by a bunch of white jerseys there as the Spartans were ready for that 2nd down.
But, John, I will say this. If you don't think special teams win or lose football games, you're crazy out there, right? So far, 2 special really you could say 3 special team wins right now go to Starpoint. The turnover there, the 2-point conversion stop, and them kicking the extra point. That's 3 positives that go right now in favor of Starpoint.
That is a good point, and those usually do tally up at the end. So we'll see if Amherst can find a way to turn that around. Meanwhile, another draw play to the right side. It seems like Amherst is once again trying to almost surprise them. We saw Starpoint go with a lot of different looks. Amherst looks like they're sticking with that more consistent one, but right now, Starpoint's getting used to it and sealing up all the holes, Tom.
And that's what we said is when you run as much as both of these 2 teams do, you've got to win the trenches. And look at the guys that we're talking about right now, right? The guys we're talking about for Starpoint, 52, Hunter Ducharme, and I apologize if I did that one, but look at the names there, right? Landon Graney, right? Those are the guys in there making the tackles right now.
Shotgun snap, long pass towards the near sideline over the head of the intended recipient, Domel Alexander, as he was trying to hit him deep down the near side. There they mixed it up a little, Tom. Just overthrew it and sails out of bounds and complete.
But now Starpoint answers right back, right? Now we got the defense. You're going to have to punt here, right? But look at Starpoint's thinking they're getting themselves good field position. So now they move them back, right? We saw this on the kickoff, right, where they were actually farther in and he got a hold of it. Let's see what happens here.
You'd think you might have him back a little bit more just in case. As again, down the far side, as it landed at the 50, hop in the Spartans' favor. He grabs it across the 50, takes it far sideline, and finally taken down there at around the 47 of the Tigers. That was Billy Bickler, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but he was the return man on that one. And Starpoint starts in enemy territory, Tom.
I'll tell you the one thing, that's great field position right there that you can absolutely build off. Right now, you can think about it. Last two drives, both now have started inside Amherst territory. You're asking the defense right now for Amherst to come up big again.
Indeed, ball on the right hash of the Amherst 47-yard line. Starpoint football, one receiver right, three spread to the left. Shotgun snap. Looking to go deep. LaPlante fires it far sideline, and did he bring it in? Yes, he did! Made the catch across the 20, and then went forward, spiraled down and around the 15. What a play, one-on-one, and that was a huge reception by Piranelli again, as he comes up big, Tom, and just absolutely an incredible play, because it looked like Amherst may have had a chance to pick it off, and not only does that not happen, but Piranelli says, look what I got, big gain.
And you're right, it was very close to getting picked off right there, but they saw that one-on-one matchup and went after it.
Shotgun snap again, LaPlante looking, going to fire end zone, far side, that's broken up, but a flag comes in.
But I'm going to hold off on this. This could go either way. I won't even be surprised if this possibly goes offensive interference.
Yeah, it looked like they were engaged, but either way, you figured a flag would be coming there.
And it is offensive passing interference. Yep, because you saw it was underthrown the ball, and the defender was right there, and it was going to hit him in the breadbasket, and then he got hit. That could have easily been an interception right there. I think that's honestly a good call right there by their officials.
You know, but at the same time, with the way Starpoint still has it deep in Amherst territory, in that case, maybe you take the penalty, even though it's 15 yards, to make sure that ball doesn't get picked off, because you're still just outside the red zone.
That's a good point, right? I do, and I'm with you on that one. That isn't a bad penalty. I actually think it's a heads up by the receiver right there, because he was behind him. The defender does a great job of using his body to stay in front of Piranelli right there. So he does a great job of using his body. That's the only way that you really can stop that from being an interception. I think that's a good observation by you right there.
Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Running back in motion to the left side. LaPlante takes the snap. We're going to air it out again near sideline. And it was a jump ball broken up, swatted away, as it looked like he was going for number 23, Kyler Lee. But good defense there by Amherst, and I believe it was Wyatt Bear again, who's already made a couple nice defensive plays in this game for the Tigers.
And really, again, I think Lee was playing more defender on that one than he was playing receiver there, as he actually hits that ball away so it can't be intercepted right there.
So it is now going to be 2nd out and 25 for the Spartans, as they have it. Ball on the right hash of the 33-yard line of Amherst. So they have to get to around the 18, or the 8 rather, to move the chains. Shotgun snap, LaPlante. Again, he's in trouble. Pocket collapse, the outbound. So, had a man over the middle. I think it was Lee again. Crossed the 20, but he started to run before he brought it in. That's a cardinal sin of football, Tom. And now it's going to be 3rd and very long. What a jump throw. I mean, what a pass. Just couldn't bring it in.
I got to tell you, I've been very impressed with LaPlante with his where he is as a quarterback, right? And it just shows what kind of an athlete this kid really is, right? What a gamer this kid really is. All those things, all those adjectives that you want to use for an athlete that you can see really doing great things right here. But you're right. You got to catch that one, man, because that's going to make it a very manageable third down right there for you if he catches that.
Shotgun empty backfield, the snap. LaPlante fades back, airs it out, far sideline, jumps up, makes the grab. He's got it at the 5, takes it to the goal line, and touchdown, Starpoint. Wow, you want to talk about an individual effort, Tom? I think that was it right there. That's textbook definition. First, there was a lot of grabbing. He had to outwork one defender, and then he was dragging 2 defenders on his back and finds Pater. He earned that touchdown.
Listen, I see some Conley Cup members here. Piranelli's showing why he should get his Conley Cup nomination this week. And I'll tell you, the refs were right there. Did you see they were right on him, and he stuck the ball over the line is how he got that touchdown.
So now 13-6 for Starpoint, extra point up, and it is good, even though the snap looked to be a little low, but the kick was on target. Now 14-6 Starpoint, 7:17 to go first half.
He literally, did you see that? I mean, as he was fighting. So first of all, he had to fight to catch the ball in the first place. Does it to get the first down. Had 2 defenders on him as he was trying to fight into the end zone, and then it looked like it was going to stop his momentum. I thought they were going to call the play because his momentum stopped. And then all of a sudden, you see him stick his arm out over the end line right there. Bam, gets the touchdown. What a play right there. Unbelievable, I'll tell you that.
That absolutely is correct, and just a great play to make it 14-6. As there's still 7:17 to go first half. But now you're at a point, it's still only a 1-score game, but the momentum is clearly in the favor of Starpoint right now. Amherst needs to do something on this drive, even if it's just a field goal, get the home crowd back into it, get the momentum back on their side. Down the near side, bounced it around the 38 of the Tigers, and good job there by Max D'Amico to just jump on top of that and not fumble it away. So Amherst has a pretty good field position, but they need an answer because right now Starpoint scored the last 2 touchdowns.
And really used field as their advantage, right? They've had great field position the last 2 drives. So they have used the special team wins that they've had right now. They've used to their advantage. So what's Amherst's answer? Is we've got 7:17 left inside the half. What's the answer right now by Amherst? And it looks like they're setting up for a run right here.
Under center, 1 to the right. And I would say that if I was a betting man, that'd be pretty good, the odds. And it was a draw play to the near sideline across the 40. Dives down after maybe 2 or 3. Second down. And now... So they would, then the referee came in, waved, we had a whistle and a flag. A flag is down. Sorry, it was a little bit from this vantage point. Tough to tell, but a flag did come in.
It was late, too.
And this is a big call, but it looks like Amherst might be moving the wrong way, so it might be an indication of who this might be on. And it's an offensive holding call against the Tigers. You know, Tom, like we said, once you saw Amherst huddle start to move to the left, I think that's a pretty good telltale sign.
Yep, I agree there. But it was very late. I thought it was a very late flag for a holding penalty.
I would agree with that. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun snap, and it's a handoff left side. Nichols trying to fight his way forward, but nowhere to really go, and then he is absolutely dropped there. That's not a good start to this drive for Amherst, that they need a response.
And it looked like that was Landon Graney as the first one in on the tackle right there for Starpoint. He does a great job, but you see that whole line is right there, and they've got team tackling going on right now at Starpoint. You got to like what you're seeing from a defensive side of the ball right now. So, again, and as you do this, right, that clock's going to keep ticking right here as we see run. but you've got a deep second down. You got to think this is going to be one of those opportunities where Amherst is going to have to take a shot right here.
As we come up on 6 minutes to go, first half action, 14-6 Starpoint. Amherst from left to right, shotgun snap, looks, fires it near side, jump ball in. There were 4 players involved that swatted away incomplete. You had both types of jerseys going for it. In the end, it was who's got it, who's got it. Nobody's got it. And it falls to the turf incomplete.
We got ourselves another passing opportunity right here, but that one was up for grabs. And we've seen a couple balls, right? Both sides right now go up for grabs. And it's been so far, right? Winner receiver really is what we've seen. But you're going to have to take another opportunity where we already know this is going to be another throwing down.
And I will give the officials credit. For the most part, they're letting them play out there. There have been quite a few of those contested where you have man-on-man, but we haven't seen too many flags. So credit to the officials. Shotgun snap, rolling left, looking downfield, pressure coming, and he will be forced to just throw it away down that near sideline. And so for Amherst, that was still probably a smart thing to do. Pressure was on him. You don't want to make a bad throw. Give Starpoint tremendous field position again, already down, and giving up a couple touchdowns.
This is almost the same exact spot where a little farther than where they punted last time. But think about it. Look at where he's going to go. He's going to be right about the same spot. Remember, he was at the 50-yard line when he went there. So he's moving back a little bit. But you're right now going to give your team another opportunity to possibly be in Amherst territory to start another drive.
Yeah, not the drive that the Tigers were looking for. Maybe they'll throw another fake punt again. Let's see. No, this time they do kick it away. It's a good end-over-end punt. Far side fields it across the 45. There he goes midfield. Tried to get away, but he gets wrapped up, and he is thrown down to the turf. That's a good job of coverage there by the Tigers. That was pretty risky. Some might say horse collar, but in the end, it was a good coverage there and made sure that it wasn't an even bigger return.
Yeah, I don't think he grabbed anything. I just think he got high is all that it was.
Right.
And again, that was Jaden Reed. That's a name we've already called a couple times today. Remember, I pointed him out as a great defender in the last play. Doing it now for the special teams. That's a great open field tackle right there. And look, it looked like they were going to get field position in Amherst territory. Pushes them back a little bit, right? Great job there by Jaden Reed.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Good job. And again, he was smart enough to avoid the horse collar, so there wasn't a flag either. Good play by him. You're right, Tom. Quarterback under center, LaPlante. And this time it is going to be a handoff up the middle, and he grinds his way, moving his feet. Now they're into Amherst territory, finally dragged down at around the 46 or 47. See, when you're mixing it up like Starpoint, and you're getting the results, now you can start with the HP draw looks because the defense doesn't necessarily know to expect it. Where Amherst right now, it seems like they're doing a lot of the draw.
Yeah. So far, like I said, we got a great one. We're going to go right now under the 5-minute mark here in a second. And you can just see Starpoint wants that clock right now to keep moving with a lead right now in their advantage.
Backs in the offset eye. Quarterback LaPlante under center. Handoff up the middle, and he bursts on through. Gets all the way down to the Amherst 40-yard line. And right now the beat just continues to roll on for Starpoint. Seems like no matter what they're doing, they're finding a way to have success with it.
And when you really can run up the A gap like that I'm sorry, I'm going to give credit to the offensive line because you can't run up the gut like that without a hole opening the way it did. Yep. And that's a great job right there by the offensive line of Starpoint.
Right now, Starpoint's offensive line is beating Amherst's defensive line. Another draw up the middle, and again, it's going to go for big yardage. Across the 35, stumbles forward. Boy, if he didn't lose his footing right there, he could have gotten for an even bigger game. But Starpoint really set up. Again, it's going to be second and short at around the 32 of Amherst.
Richardson running the ball very well. And even on that one, where the hole opens up, then you saw it close very quickly. And then Richardson uses his footwork to move left to right to be able to go in that hole and be able to advance the ball even farther. Great footwork right there by Richardson.
Backs in the eye again, one receiver either side. The snap, And it's going to be a handoff left side. He breaks free. There he goes on the 20. 15, breaks it far side to the 10, and finally wrapped up and taken down in the open field across the Amherst 5-yard line. And boy, Tom, I mean, the way Starpoint is just moving it at will with this running game, I mean, it's almost like now you see me, now you don't. There were 3 or 4 Tigers that looked like they were converging on him, and all of a sudden, all of them missed, and he was off to the races. Really turned on the afterburners.
And Caleb Nicholas with the tackle right there. He doesn't make that tackle. That's a touchdown right there. He right now gives his team an opportunity to try to make a stop.
And try to hold them to a field goal rather than a touchdown at the bare minimum. And it's going to be another draw play. Handoff straight up the middle. Fights his way forward, getting close to the goal line, but he's going to be short. And this is going to bring up 2nd and goal for the Spartans. But you could see right now that the running game is working, and they're not going to abandon it. They're going to stick with it on this drive at least, Tom.
And I don't blame them, right? It's been very successful for them right now. And really, your line of scrimmage is getting the push off the line. I'm going to look right here. I wouldn't even be surprised if this is some sort of quarterback keeper right here where you just go right behind that center.
And so there's a timeout on the field, so we still have 2:49 to go. First half, 14-6. Starpoint. I think it is absolutely critical here, Tom, that Amherst finds a way to hold Starpoint to 3. You really don't want to be falling behind 2 touchdowns this late in the first half. This is a big defensive series for them.
I agree, and let's see what happens.
On this 2nd and goal, backs in the eye, goal line, defense for the Tigers. The snap, handed off, straight up the middle, fights his way through a couple guys, but again, not going to get there. Couldn't break the plane, and it is going to be 3rd down and goal now for the Spartans. So it looks like Amherst defense stiffening a little bit.
Yeah, great job right there, right? And that's the push, right? That's the push that you got so they can't get, because just a little push by that offensive line. They're on the 1, right? Just a push gets you that half yard, and then you're really just trying to finish the run right off.
So a 3rd and goal here. Big play in this game. Backs in the eye, handoff again, right up the middle. Fighting his way forward, goes right head first into those defenders, and again doesn't get it. Again, he is short, and it's going to be 4th and goal. Now, you have an opportunity with a field goal to go up and make it a 2-possession game. Or, Coach Prince, do you go for it here? 4th and goal.
This is a championship game right here. I'm on the 1. I'm going for this. I really am.
Love
I'm
it.
going for this.
Love the decisiveness.
But you also can make this a 2-point score. I get the thought process here. But really is what you're trying to do is somehow say, man, I want to make it so we're at a point where we're putting the game away, right? That you want to put the other team so when they go into halftime, heads are down. That's what you're trying to do. But you don't get it. And, boy, those heads come up. And even behind, Amherst can then come out and go, boy, we feel like we're winning, and can absolutely take that right away out into the field for the second half.
In fact, it's such a big call that Starpoint actually used the timeout to talk about it. And I think this is a good move. I think, really try to figure out what you want to do here, because these are, when we talk about football coming down to a couple calls, this is the type of example exactly of that. Because if this goes one way or the other, it could certainly have a big impact on the outcome of this game, and we will certainly be talking about it afterwards.
Yeah, I agree. This is a great one. This really is. I mean, we're here for a reason, folks. We're here because we knew this would be a great game, and it looks like they're going for this.
And it does appear that way. So backs in the eye. LaPlante from under center. It's a quarterback sneak up the middle, and did he get in there? Looking to see. I don't believe he got in. And from the reaction of the Amherst crowd, it looks like they held him. And indeed, that is the case. So it's going to be a turnover on downs. They do not get in. And it remains 14-6 in favor of Starpoint. And, Tom, now the heads are going to come up on the Amherst side.
But listen, you got to get this out here, right? There's still a minute and a half left inside this half. This still is where you got to get this out. You got to get it out of the end zone.
You're still in danger right now. You turn this over, cough this up, and Starpoint gets another chance. That's a good point.
Or you don't get it out of that end zone, one or the other.
Right. Handoff straight up the middle, fights his way forward for a couple of yards, and that at least gives him a little bit of breathing room. Second down here.
And that's all you needed. You wanted a little bit of breathing room is exactly what you wanted.
Now you wonder, although pinned back this deep, Amherst generally likes to run it more anyways, but could you see them maybe try to push it down the field here? One score game, maybe get a score.
I mean, you're going to go under a minute right now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if I'm pushing a lot right here, right?
Yeah, it sure doesn't look that way.
I really just want this clock to end and go in with the win that we just stopped them on the one, right? Go in with that positive.
And maybe make some offensive adjustments. I could hear what you're saying. Handoff straight up the middle. Nice burst of speed there. Finds a hole and gets out close to the 10-yard line of the Tigers. So if nothing else, they certainly did get it out of the end zone, Tom.
Yeah, and I like that. I really do. I like that call right there. And you pushed it out. You've done everything. And now if I'm coach, right, I'm really going to go into the halftime going, all right, we got something to build off here, right? We've got the positive. Defense, this is what you got to come out and do the second half. You got to shut out second half, and this is how you do with the blueprint. You showed it to me on that defensive stop right there.
As clock continues to run, just 10 seconds remaining in the half. We'll see if Amherst even wants to run one more play. They do, and it's a handoff up the middle, and he zips his way across the 20, still going across the 25, but then knocked backwards, and that he is brought to the turf. That is going to bring us to the end of a very, very entertaining first half of football. Well-paced and pretty much living up to what we thought, Tom. A lot of running on both sides, and in the end right now, Starpoint has the 14-6 lead going a half.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, in a moment, we're going to kick it down to the field where Francis is going to talk to Coach Tim Racy, and he's trying to get him, but he obviously is talking to the refs right now. So there's something with the refs right now that he's talking about, and it sounded like that the timeout that they tried to call was called a little too early. I think they wanted to hold on to it a little bit longer and let some of that clock run is what they were trying to do. So I think that's kind of what the discussion is right here. But once they come back, we're going to go to them. Then we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back. You and I will talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half. And then we're actually going to come back after that, and then we'll do the interview with Coach Beckman on the Amherst side towards the end of halftime. So we got a lot of things going on here for halftime. Again, we apologize for that hiccup earlier in the game. Due to our internet, it went completely black on us. We apologize. There was nothing that we could control right there. It went black, but we got it up and running as quick as we did. So you may have missed the first touchdown right there for Amherst. John does a great job of explaining it to you back then, and we'll probably talk a little bit about halftime because Nicholas was unbelievable on that run right there and made some big things happen. But no doubt we've got some nice stuff right now happening for both teams. I really believe that you could talk momentum right now. Both teams could really say that they've got the momentum going on their side. I really believe that. So I think we're getting ready right now as Francis is setting up. He's coming out to the field right now, and it looks like we're ready to kick it down to him, and we're going to kick it down right now.
All right, I'm with Coach Tim Racy, the Starpoint Spartans, 14-6 lead. I know the end of the half didn't go as well as you'd hoped, but Phil Pernelli, your wide receiver, doing a great job, making some great catches. What do you make of his performance?
You know what? I'm so happy for him. He struggled last year as a junior, had a couple injuries, and last week with the game-winning touchdown as time expired against Willie's to get us to this point was phenomenal. And we're just so happy for his development, and I hope he's enjoying the moment. I hope his family's enjoying the moment because it's been wonderful.
All right, obviously he's a senior. Final half for your seniors, no matter what happens. What's going to be the message to all your guys at the half?
We've been saying no regrets all year. Okay, we only have so many games in us. Okay, it's not a Major League Baseball season with 162 games. Your high school career has maybe 25, 30 games at the most. Make every second count. We were just talking the other day about, in beginning of August, and we blinked and we're here. So it goes by so quick. That was a message to our juniors, our sophomores, and even the freshmen that we have on the team to enjoy every second of this.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much for everything. Have a good night. Go Spartans.
All right, Tom, John, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Francis, and we appreciate that interview. So we will step aside. We are at halftime. It is Starpoint up over Amherst by a 14-6 count, and you are watching it right here on WNY Athletics. We're at halftime.
New locations are now open. Suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well. Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
And we welcome you back here to Amherst High School. We are at halftime between Starpoint and Amherst. Starpoint with a 14-6 lead along with Tom Prince. I'm John Kruba. Francis Beck is down on the sideline. And it was a tremendous first half, Tom, when you really look at it. You know, both teams really, it was the high-tempo offense. And I think you started to see Starpoint win out a little bit in the battle in the trenches. But Amherst with a big defensive stop at the end of the half.
It's been both teams coming up big at different times in this game, if you think about it, right? Amherst starts off with this game. Caleb Nicholas, unbelievable what he did right around that goal line, especially to help get the first score for Nicholas, and did it on 4th down, which was huge, first of all, right? If you remember, he breaks the 4th down and then just keeps going, and gets in there. And then Piernelli does the same thing on the flip side for Starpoint. And remember, Amherst had a huge momentum early in this game because they get the score and they've already shut Starpoint out, right? But Starpoint finally in that beginning of the second quarter then goes score, and now you can see the belief really come up with them, right? You really see it right there.
I got to say, it's kind of reminiscent of almost like an arm wrestling match where it looked like Amherst had come down like this first, but all of a sudden Starpoint said, oh, not so fast. Yeah. And they countered in a big way, and boy, did they ever.
And that end of the half right there, if Amherst doesn't make that stop, this game could start of getting away from Amherst. And you'd have complete belief on that Starpoint side. But they come up. They do what they need to, right? That's how you build off to the second half right there for Amherst. We can build off that one drive right there and how we stopped. Flip it on the other side. Starpoint goes, we got a 7-point lead when we went down, right? Or an 8-point lead, I apologize, an 8-point lead. So you're really talking about both teams could say right now, we got the momentum on our side and really believe that. And I love that, right? Because that bodes right there for a great second half. Here's the one advantage, though. One advantage that I think Starpoint's got right now big. Special teams. It's gone all the way to Starpoint. Right now, Amherst can't let that keep happening because it could come down to be the difference in this game.
I kind of read your mind on that one because I could tell, you mentioned it before, and it's true. The special teams has really been a monster in this game for Starpoint. And the one thing I'll say, though, you got to give Amherst defense credit, not only for that goal line stop, but remember, when Amherst fumbled that ball by their own player and Starpoint jumped on top of it, yes, that was a big special teams play for them. But the Amherst defense, came up big there, forced them to punt. I mean, you could really make the case that it looked like it was going to be a runaway for Starpoint, if not for that Tigers defense.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I said, it bodes well right now for a big second half. The Stars are coming out big, no doubt about it. I can't wait to see how this one's going to play out.
No, indeed, it's going to be. It should be a really fun one, as it's 14-6 Starpoint, leading at halftime over Amherst, and you're watching it on WNY Athletics. We are at halftime.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
You're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain.
And we welcome you back here to Amherst High School. We are at halftime. Starpoint with a 14-6 lead over Amherst. And right now we're going to throw it back down on the field where our very own Francis Beck is interviewing Coach Beckman of Amherst.
They were down there three cracks at it from the 1 yard line. You keep them out. I mean, that's some pretty stout defense. So, we're looking to use that as some momentum as we go into the second half.
24 minutes left for your seniors, no matter what happens. What was the message to them at halftime?
Well, kind of the message, the same as we talked about before the game. I mean, we've been writing this story all year long. It's a 10-chapter story, and we want to go out there and make sure we write a good finish. So that's the message. They got 24 minutes left. Some of these guys are never going to put a pair of shoulder pads and a helmet on again, so they got to leave it on the field. Again, we'll use the momentum from that last stop and see if we can carry that over into the second half.
All right, thank you, Coach. John, Tom, I'll send it back to you.
And thank you, Francis, again, doing a great job. Great work on the sideline for us. And we will step aside again. It is halftime, and it is Starpoint with a 14-6 lead over Amherst. Tom and I will be back in just a bit right here on WNY Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
And we welcome you back to Amherst High School. Second half about set to get rocking and rolling. John Kruba along with Tom Prince. Starpoint with a 14-6 lead over Amherst. And we want to thank our cameramen, Mario Hall and Russ Battaglia, our producer, Heidi Gunther, Francis back on the sideline. Of course, you, my friend, Tom Prince. You know, without any of you guys, tonight would not be possible. But it was a great first half. Let's see what the second half has in store, Tom.
I can't wait.
Kickoff is Amherst, downfield left to right. Starpoint field to the 20. He muffs it, but he gets it back. Taking it far sideline across the 25. Tries to get by a couple defenders, but finally is wrapped up there at around the 26 as there was a sea of Tigers right there to wrap them up and bring them down. And Starpoint begins us on the second half.
And that may be the first negative special team so far for Starpoint right there. And I want to say is since the beginning of the game, this may be the worst field position they've had since the very beginning of the game.
I would agree. It's not horrible, but by their standards, it's like, wait, usually we get the ball, we start right at midfield or in the other team's territory. What's happening here? But it's a brand new half, and so it should be a great one. One receiver either side of the line. It's a draw play up the middle. Tries to juke back up that middle gut, but did not work there. Only picked up a yard or two at the most. It's going to be second down here.
And I'll tell you, you see that hole open up? The hole opens up, but then closed very quickly right there. And you saw number 4, Wyatt Bear, right there come in as he comes in for the tackle. But you saw the hole open up and close up very quickly. That's what Amherst needs to do is make sure those holes don't remain open so it doesn't become 4, 5, 6 or more yards.
2 receivers spread out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Pistol set, the snap, fading back. Looking downfield, guns at first side, got him in wide open. He's got it at the 45, at the 40 in Amherst territory, and finally take it out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Amherst. And, Tom, I think that was a build-up. We've seen Starpoint keep going for that deep ball, and this time they connect. What a big play.
And I'll tell you, I thought it was a little underthrown right there. If he actually catches him in stride, that's a touchdown right there for Starpoint.
Yeah, he could have pretty much just sailed in.
Yeah, he really could have. I mean, he was that far ahead, like you said.
He had nothing but green lawn in front of him. Going to work out of the shotgun this time. He's going to keep it himself up across the 35. Meets a couple defenders head on. So pretty tough there. Give him credit. Picks up a few yards, and it'll be second down for the Spartans after that big play. And LaPlante, again, he's just showing that he can do it all. Tom, you said that in our intro, and he's been worth the price of admission.
Yeah, he really has. And he's done it with his arm. He's done it with his legs. We've seen him do it on defense, right, with big tackles. I mean, he really is a kid that is all over this field and a true asset to this Starpoint team.
Going to work with 3 receivers wide left, 1 wide to the right, running back off the left shoulder. Snap, handoff straight up the gut, across the 30, still going. He gets wrestled and taken to the turf and taken down pretty hard at around the 27. But it's going to be enough to move the sticks. What a nice job there, just seeing what the defense was giving him, and he took it, Tom.
Good tackle right there, too, which almost... he almost gets the first down right there, and if it wasn't for that tackle, it is a first down. Great job right there by the defense of Amherst as they come up big.
That's a good catch by you. Initially from up here, it looked to me like he may have had enough to get it. He did not, but it makes it a much more manageable 3rd down and 2 here.
You got to think this is going to be something straight. Yeah, you can see they're going into in that bunch formation right now.
Amherst bringing everybody up at the kitchen sink, and it's going to work. They go up the gut, and they are rebooked immediately.
I don't know if he got it. See where they're standing? I don't know if he got it.
Well, it sure didn't look like it. He went up. It looked like he tried to go off left tackle, but the problem was there were like 5 or 6 defenders for Amherst saying, hello, nice to meet you. Now I'll take the grass.
Yep.
And they just took him in.
And they're still going to be a yard short. So this is reminiscent of how the quarter ended with the goal line stand.
Indeed.
Amherst trying to do it again.
4th down and 1. But, again, if you're Starpoint, you're at around the 28-yard line, do you maybe consider, and it looks like a timeout's called once again, knowing that you failed on the goal line, do you maybe try to take the points here, try a field goal, get up 2 scores?
I don't know. This is a 40,
true.
mid-40 field
That's
goal.
True.
There aren't many
That's
kickers
true.
that can do that, right?
That is a good point.
That's
a good point.
We've seen one, right? We saw one when we were down in Pennsylvania when Bennett played McDowell.
That was a great game.
We saw a 49-yard field goal kicked by the McDowell kicker, right?
Yeah.
And then we were told that the kicker that came up from Cathedral Prep actually kicked a 50-yarder in the game before he came to us. Otherwise, you know what I mean, we're really hearing more about mid-30s, you know what I mean, and we really haven't heard that real long-distance field goal. That's going to be a tough one. I think they're going to have to go for it.
Tom, I totally agree with you. Just heat of the moment, you could wonder, but in all reality, this is the right call to go for it. I mean, you could try to pin him deep with a punt, but I think you go for it here. Backs in the eye. No receivers spread out, so I don't think it's much of a secret how Starpoint wants to try to get this first down. Everybody up on the line for Amherst, and here we go. The snap near side. What a play by LaPlante. Got by the defender, took it up the near side. He tiptoes out of bounds and gets forced there at around the 27 or 28. But the big thing, Tom, he gets more than enough to move the sticks. First down,
I don't
Spartans.
think he got it. I don't know if he got it.
I don't know.
No, he didn't get it.
No, he didn't get it. Wow. Boy, he started behind it. Looked like when he got that surge around that near sideline that he had it. But you are correct, as the referees pointed the other way. So they stop him. So Amherst defense comes up big again. Wow.
You really, right now, like I said, that momentum, boy, what a shift right there for Amherst. And their defense is just showing they really are winning that line of the scrimmage when it matters, especially with short distance.
Now let's see if the Amherst offense can help their defense out a little bit. Backs in the eye. It's a handoff straight up the gut. Fights his way forward, and he gets blitzed, but takes it to around the 35-yard line. So that'll be a nice pickup of a handful there. And see, that's more of what Amherst needs. Too many times they've been getting stuffed, and it makes a 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and so on. But there they got a nice handful of yards, and now it's 2nd and 5. That's a much better first down play that time.
But remember the last time they were doing this, it was a penalty that caused them to lose all those
That's a
yards
good
too,
point.
right? So they got to stay clean because that 10-yard penalty, and we'll talk about that in a second, why it's so negative.
Handoff again. It's a draw play. This time not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard gain at most, 3rd down.
You know, I wish this is a rule that they would look at, the high school, New York State would look at for as a rule. I don't like that holding is a penalty that is a spot foul on a regular, you know what I mean, on like a run play. Because literally you could be, that hold could be 5 yards deep in the backfield, right? And then now you're going to get another 10 on top of where it occurred. So you're talking about sometimes a holding penalty. I've seen 15, 16, 17, 18 yards of a penalty, and it's too much to overcome sometimes for a high school team.
As it's a keeper, near side end around across the 35, gets close to the 40, but he is wrestled out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line of Amherst. But that was a little bit of a trick play. Nice design. Cut it around the near side, faked the end around to the running back, and the quarterback just kept it and took off down the near sideline for a decent gain.
Yeah, nice bootleg right there by your quarterback is what it was.
And it's enough for a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and, you know, that's got to be refreshing for them. After having so many 3-and-outs after their scoring drive, this time they do get the first. Back's going to line up in the offset eye. One receiver spread out wide to the left as they fake the game. Now they hand it to the near side, and it looked like they almost were going to have them fooled again to Wyatt Bear, but a very nice ankle tackle made by the Spartans, and it's going to bring up 2nd down, and we'll see if they spot it. It looks like about 9, but a 2nd down play and a nice tackle in the open field by the Spartans defense. He could have kept going for a long way had he been able to break free. Instead, it's 2nd down and 9 here. Meanwhile, clock continues to run, 6.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and it's still 14-6.
Your student section, they're going nuts right now as Mario's got the student section. He's getting them all riled up down there as Amherst is playing their last game of the season, trying to win the Chuck Funky Bowl A championship right here. Mario goes into the crowd and gets, I'm telling you, Mario's one of the best when it comes to crowd shots, close-up, huddles, anything down on the field. I'll tell you, he's one of the best. I absolutely love him on the camera guy. He really is.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Tom.
Then on the flip side, our guy up here, that's up top, Russ Battaglia, one of the best in the business. I'm going to tell you right now. Anything you need as far as a camera, you know it's going to get done. He can do it with a camera. He is absolutely amazing. I'll tell you, hands down, I want those 2 guys on my team every single day of the week. I'll tell you that. 2 of the best.
And obviously, we can't forget about our producer extraordinaire either, Heidi Gunther over there. She's making us sound good, especially for me. That's not easy.
Oh, stop. You do a great job. There's no doubt about it. You know, and we'll tell the story about Heidi, how it happened, but she literally was a producer for sports radio, and we've been lucky to nail and get her in here.
Amherst now trying to get another first down. They'll fade back to pass. Brown fires a dart over the middle, and it looked like he could have hit his man Alexander just a little over his head, and that's going to be incomplete and bring up 3rd down, I believe, here for the Tigers.
Yeah, that if he hits that one right there, I agree. That's a absolute first down and a great opportunity to move the ball. Just a little bit overthrown over his head. Tough that, you know what I mean. Most guys aren't going to be able to go up that high and be able to bring that one down.
No, but again, I mean, they're close. I mean, I get close only counts in horseshoes, but they are close to connecting. It's not they're way over, just can't bring it in. Amherst again going to go with the shotgun look. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Shotgun max protect. Brown fades back to pass. Fires it near side, in and out of the hands again of Wyatt Bear. Could not reel it in, and it falls incomplete, and that's even more of a killer because once again, he had it, just could not complete the reception. We've seen a couple of those from the Tigers tonight, Tom.
Yeah, we really have. And And again, now, what do you do? Right? This is, I think you are, and it looks
Walking
like
the
I think
tightrope.
you really are. But they're going to punt it. But I was going, listen, you really believe in your defense right now? Do you try to go for something? I wouldn't have been surprised if they did. But obviously they're doing what we think they're going to do, and that's punt.
And it's a nice one, too, end over end. Beautiful kick it around the 25. Starpoint at the 30, 35. There he goes up to the 40. Still going across midfield. Look at this. He is just plowing over people and gets down to about the 46 or 47-yard line of Tigers. So they punted. It was a good kick. But Starpoint still ended up in Amherst territory anyway.
Lucas Lombardo had a head of steam right there and just took off. Went straight up the middle, right? He really did. Really was not going to be stopped until you hit him hard. Great job right there by Lombardo. And again, giving Starpoint the field position we keep talking about that they saw for the entire first half.
Now, the one thing that you'll say is that even though Starpoint's played a really good road game, haven't been able to fully convert on some of that field position lately. You wonder if this is the time they do it. Out of the shotgun again, they're going to fire it far side. That is broken up, and that's going to be incomplete. So it is a second down there. That time looked like LaPlante tried to get it out of there quick, maybe on a little bit of a screen, but the throw was a little too low, didn't work out. Second down.
And again, it's another Amherst, stop. And you got to give this defense credit. And what you got to be careful was your Starpoint. Do you keep them, in this game? Do you keep it so that they could come back?
LaPlante.
And this is going to be an offsides.
And so somebody jumps, so I believe this
No, it's going to be a false start.
A false start. Originally, it was hard to tell. You saw movement from both sides, but
I saw one of the linemen move, and then you saw those guys jump and point right there.
And at that point, it's a guessing game. But that's why we have those guys in the striped sweaters down there. They pick it out for us.
Very
true. False start against Starpoint. So that, again, we want to talk about not converting. Well, right here, that's a 5-yard penalty. Now it backs you up to your own side of the field. Going to work out of the shotgun. 3 receivers spread out right, 1 to the left. The snap, fading back. Home run pass down the far sideline, and that is defended and broken up there. Good play. I want to say that was number 17, Max D'Amico, in the coverage. And this will bring up third down. That time, Starpoint going for that home run again, and this time did not work out. Good coverage by the Tigers.
Obviously, you see Starpoint's trying to find that one-on-one matchup, right? Whenever they see that one-on-one matchup, that's when you see them trying to take those shots that they're taking downfield. They feel like they've got some sort of advantage and are absolutely trying to go after that advantage.
So the Spartans, again, on a third down here, going to go with 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. 4 on the line for the Tigers. Shotgun snap. Fades back, looking, passes it near side, and nice job to hang on to that time by number 23, Kyler Lee. But Tigers were right there and stopped them well short of the yards to gain for first. So it's a completion, but Amherst defense, again, looking good.
I got to tell you, what a weekend we have of football right here. I mean, you've got semifinal matchups in Section 6. We got a semifinal in the Monsignor Martin happening, and we'll go through and tell everybody what's going on. But, boy, we got some amazing matchups that are going to happen this week.
1 receiver either side as they're going to punt it away. That was 4th down, right to left, and not a very good punt down that far sideline. It's going to go out at around the 35-yard line of the Tigers. So Amherst defense once again stops Starpoint from capitalizing on the good field position. They have pretty good field position of their own, Tom, their own 35-yard line. Let's see now if they can finally get something going offensively besides maybe just 1 first down a drive.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're going to wait and see. But, we talked about some of these matchups. I mean, every division has got a matchup, right, for something to look forward to, right? The double A's, right? You've got Bennett versus Orchard Park that's going to happen. In the last 2 years, the only local loss Bennett's had is Orchard Park, right? So you got to consider that as a circle game that you're going to need to watch.
Backs in the eye, Brown the handoff up the middle, fights forward for 3 or 4, lunging ahead to about the 39-yard line. Amherst second down. And, speaking of that, Tom, I'm going to be keeping my eye on the Clarence-Williamsville North game. Clarence coming up with that major upset against South Park. I am a Clarence alum, and and so is my sister. My parents are alum of Williamsville North.
Oh.
So,
that's going to be a fun household.
Rivalry.
I don't want to that household.
Well, now you know why I'm going to be keeping an eye on it.
Listen, I honestly was telling everyone, you look at every one of the broadcasts, and I had said, especially our show that Francis and I do, I said, watch, Clarence is gonna do some big things. They're no doubt a team that is a tough team to beat. And I tell you, one of the top teams inside that A.
Handoff as they're rolling to the left. Flag comes in. Passes complete near sideline at 45, and then takes a big hit at around the 48 or 49 from Kyler Lee. But he was able to get it out to Radon Cruel on a nice game. But $1 million question, what's the flag for?
They already did it. It was, they said false start on Amherst.
Okay, so the play doesn't count. So there's another one that backs them up 5 yards.
I agree, that Clarence-Will North game, and it's a rematch, right? Will North has already beaten them once, and it's very tough to beat a team twice. And so you got that going on, right? You got Jamestown, Kenmore West, right, which is another big game right there. Legal shift is what it was, actually. So the 2A games, tremendous. How about the B games, right? Medina and no, I'm sorry, that's the C game. The B game, Iroquois is going to take on West Seneca East. That's always a great matchup every time those two teams play.
And that is a bad snap. It looked like on the handoff there. And in that case, Brown doing the smart thing, just diving on top of that football. You don't want Starpoint getting it there.
Absolutely. And you don't want to turn it over either because you weren't aggressive enough to go back and get it is another thing. So, like the Iroquois West Seneca East game, unbelievable. Yes. How about Maryville is going to take on Pioneer? This Pioneer defense is unbelievable. Remember, Pioneer beat South Park this year too, right? That defense is legit down there. And Maryville going, hey, we are undefeated though, buddy. Like, come on, watch us. We are that good this year.
Tom Prince, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know all the playoff matchups? Human Dictionary over here at Western New York High School football. Shotgun snap, rolling left, looking downfield. Blitz is coming. Jump throw to the near sideline, and that is broken up. Amherst looked like they kind of wanted a flag, but none's going to come. That was a broken play. Looked like they may have had a shot for a completion, but it was only going to be for a few yards anyway.
Yeah, but it would have gotten them back to 10 yards.
It would have. It was a good attempt, but ultimately, again, comes up short for the Tigers.
And then to finish off the playoffs, the C division, man, I can't wait. I'm going to be on the call for the Lackawanna versus Salamanca game. Unbelievable that game's going to be.
Nice.
That's going to be a trench warfare. I can't wait to see that one. And then on the flip side, Medina versus Fredonia, a rematch of the stadium last year. Two great teams going at it again with different quarterbacks this time.
And it's a punt, but it will not go off because another flag comes in, another whistle. And maybe it was just a timeout. Whistle
no,
did
it was
come
a false
in.
start. He just
it
said
was a false start. So it is a false start. It backs him up another 5 yards.
And then to finish off the D's, I mean, come on. You're going to have Portville versus Franklinville, Ellicottville in one matchup, Randolph versus CSP in the other one. You ever going to count CSP out in the game? But I'm going to tell you, Hind right now for Randolph, one of the top running backs in all of Western New York. Man, I love that kid. I mean, what he's going to bring to the table.
And now let's see on take two. This time they do get the punt away. Drifting middle of the field. Starpoint's got it at the 45 to the 40, up to the 35, but a flag comes in. So this might be coming on back here. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, it usually is. And remember, it's a spot foul. So it's going to come where that penalty was. It'll go 10, and he's throwing it back, right? So you're thinking it's going to go 10 yards from where that happened. They're going to go back into their own territory. It's where they're going to go here. And then the last game, come on. How do you not get up for a Canisius St. Joe's game, which is a rivalry game right there, right? And a spot to whoever wins gets to go take on St. Francis. for the Monsignor Martin Championship. I mean, it just is up and down all over the place right here. And it just, let's see what happens. It's going to be a great weekend of football. No doubt. We got some things to get excited about. And you'll look, for those of you who don't know, you won't see a lot on Western New York Athletics. You're going to have to go to the NFHS network to see what the games that we're going to broadcast. So you want to check them out on the NFHS network moving forward as we go deep into the run for the state championships.
Right to left, shotgun snap for Starpoint, fading back. Blitz coming, he gets away, takes it up the middle, cuts it to the far side across the 45, and then he is wrapped up, and he is brought down to the turf at around the 45. But you know what? Given the blitz, it was almost like a jailbreak that time for Amherst. The fact that he was able to gain any yards on that, Tom, pretty impressive. But he's been impressing us all night long.
Good tackle there, though, by number 55, Jack Dossinger, as he comes up big, because if he doesn't make that tackle, you can see LaPlante gets out to the edge and maybe turns that into a big run.
And now again, the Spartans, let's see now if they can give their defense a little insurance. A minute 45 to go, third quarter of play. You got to go with two receivers right, two to the left, shotgun snap. LaPlante fading back, fires it across the middle, and that is broken up and nearly intercepted, but that will go incomplete. Looked like they maybe tried to run a tight end seam route across the middle, but falls incomplete, third down. And an interesting fact, a little bit of a personal note, the other reason that I'm pulling for Clarence in that Williamsville North game, Coach Bergio, Paul Bergio, who is the head coach for Clarence, he was actually my gym teacher in middle school in 7th grade and 8th grade. So, always good to see him do well. And before that, Mark Lair, who coached the program for a long time, was my elementary. So it just shows you the stability that Clarence's football program has had at head coach. Off the shotgun snap, rolling right, going to throw it away down that far sideline. And once again, Amherst defense, you know what? Regardless of how this game played out, both defenses have played very well. And if, in fact, Starpoint still holds on to win, you really can't blame the Tigers' defense, Tom.
No, and again, really the whole theme of the second half has been defense, right? By both sides of the ball. Starpoint's defense, I know we haven't given them enough credit because they deserve it too. They've held Amherst to 6 points, and that was the first drive. Right. They've really put a goose egg on the board since that first drive happened.
And they stopped the 2-point conversion, too, on top of it. They're on a roll. Both defenses are now. Starpoint again, punting it far sideline. And this is a better punt this time for the Spartans, as it's going to go out of bounds near the Amherst 25-yard line. And that's where the Tigers going to take over. Let's see if they can get some continuity going. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but it's still only a one-score game. But Amherst defense continues to put up a clinic. And now it's time for the offense. Let's see if they can reward the defense a little bit.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You said it is, whether you sound like a broken record or not, I agree with you, right? You got to do it, right? There's still more than enough time in this game, but at one point you're going to have to put some sort of drive together and get in that end zone if you're going to look at this as a possible win.
Going to work with backs in the offset eye. Brown to give up the middle. Nichols, there he goes, 45, 50, breaking free, 40, he could take it all the way, 20, he is going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Tigers! I swear we had no idea that was going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, but you know what? We may as well sell telekinesis. We just said it, and now all of a sudden Amherst taking one all the way for the touchdown, and it's now Starpoint 14, Amherst 12. We got a ball game, Tom. That's the play they needed right there.
You don't realize how fast he is until you just see that run right there. When he popped out and had the chance in the open field, there was no way anybody was catching him. As you saw how fast he was and did a great job of just taking off, that was him as he gets through the middle and then gets it where he breaks it to the outside. What a great run right there by Caleb. Awesome job.
And this is a no-brainer to go for two here. Brown up the middle on the give, fighting his way close to the goal line, and he gets in. So the 2-point conversion is good. And Tom, there it is. Amherst, they reward their defense. we are now all tied up at 14. Now, how big do those missed opportunities by Starpoint look?
Oh, absolutely. And a win on special teams. That's a big win right there on the special teams. And look at this. Look at this shot right there as he comes off after that run, right? Mario Hall doing it again right there.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
Love to see it.
He just was electric on that one, on that run, and unbelievable right there. And it just shows is how good he really is. And there's a reason why he now is the single season record holder right there, because it could be that one play. You may stop him, but he's eventually going to find something and make it happen, and he does it right there. What was that about? That was about a 60-yard run, wasn't it?
Yes, about. And, they say playoffs and big games, the bright lights create heroes. And I think right there you just saw one of them for Amherst. What an absolute big run and what a huge play. Could totally turn the complexion of the game. A little tricky on the kickoff down that far side, the squib kick, but Starpoint handles it clean at their own 30-yard line. And now for the Spartans. You can't kick yourself out all these opportunities. Right now you got to focus as if it's a 0-0 game, and they got to come out and try and respond now, because now Amherst certainly has the momentum.
Yeah, I agree with you. And now if this defense, which is what we've been talking about, has been the win for Amherst, now you need this 3-and-out, right? You need that defense right now to come up big, because your offense feels, okay, we got our win. We got something. We know we can actually do something special by the run.
Shotgun snap for the Spartans. Pass left side. Could not bring it in, as that time looked like he was trying to go to Griffin LaPlante there, but he just could not. Off the fingertips. Falls incomplete, second down.
I don't want to give it away here, but I think Francis may have a big guest at the end of the third quarter he's going to talk to.
Yeah, I've had that feeling too. Hey, we were right. We just predicted as far as Amherst needing the big drive, they got it. Well, let's see if we can make it 2 for 2 at the end of the quarter.
We may be talking to somebody that was a big impact player in Western New York in the past.
Single backfield, one receiver wide to the left. The snap, they fake the give. LaPlante going to fire it far sideline. Almost intercepted that time. I thought he had it for a second. It looked like it was number 7, Tamir Outling, or checking to see that. Or excuse me, it was number 17, rather, for Amherst, Max D'Amico, who's made quite a few big plays, and he almost came up with another big one there.
I
Tom,
thought he had it.
Me too.
I did. I thought he had it right there.
For Starpoint, again, going to work out of the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left, as they're looking to run out. There's 58 seconds remaining here, third quarter, all tied at 14 here from Amherst High School. Shotgun snap. LaPlante fading back. Looks downfield, fires it far sideline. He's got a man across the 45, takes it all the way up to midfield, and gets into Amherst territory at around the 49. So for Starpoint, good thing that pass didn't get picked off, because now they just hit on a big conversion there. 1st and 10, and they're in Amherst territory. As the clock continues to run here, 44 seconds to play in the third quarter, all tied up 14 apiece.
Wow, what a game. We said it was going to be, right? At all the makings of the second half, and it's come to fruition. It really has. These two teams just going at it.
Shotgun snap, fading back again. Looks, he just delivers across the middle. He's got a man on the run across the 50, up to the Amherst 45, and he gets taken out of bounds at around the 44. Again, that is Phil Piranelli, who continues to do it all. He continues to put up big numbers in this game for Starpoint, Tom.
That was a big catch. Again, now makes it a very manageable second down, right? You can do stuff with running the ball when you've got an opportunity where it's short, because you know what you're capable of running. But the threat of the pass has been there, right? So let's see what happens. Because look at, you don't have the amount of guys in the box when you start throwing the ball. Look at the guys all spread out in the defense.
I hear 19 seconds left. Going to work with 2 receivers right, 2 wide left. Going to work out of the shotgun empty backfield. 19 seconds still remaining in the third. and
delay
of game call against the Spartans. So that's the one thing, even though they're only 5-yard penalties, we've seen Starpoint kind of hurt their own drives, whether it be with false starts and now delay a game. And when you're in a tight game like this, these are the types of mistakes that drive head coaches crazy.
Oh, absolutely. It's something that you'll always have a coach say, we got to clean up.
Shotgun snap. Again, he's going to take it to the near side. Got away from a couple defenders. Scuttles across the 45. And he will skip out of bounds at around the 42 or 43. And so the clock again stops with, or check that clock does keep rolling with inside 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. And indeed, those are the last few seconds of the third quarter. That brings us to the end of 3, all tied at 14 between Amherst and Starpoint as we throw it down to the field for Francis.
Tom and John, blast from the past next to me. I have Keyshawn Beal. You might not remember him right now, but if I put a maroon shirt on him and too, remember, quarterback for the Cheektowaga Warriors, won a couple of sectional titles, graduated in 2019. Keyshawn, real quick, what have you been up to lately?
I've been helping out with cross-training athletics. Coach at Cheektowaga Central, actually, at JV. It's pretty nice giving back.
All right, what is it like to be at a non-Cheektowaga game? I know you've been around Cheektowaga, but what has this game been like for you to be around this?
It's really great. It's great to experience how other kids see the game, how they talk on the sideline, how other coaches actually get to the bottom of different plays.
All right, 12 minutes left to go in this game. I know it's tied. As someone who's been recently, played only a couple of years ago, what would be the message here to these seniors out here?
Leave it all on the field, because you're only going to get this once and you're never going to get it back. Leave it out there and play to the limit.
All right, thank you, Keyshawn. John, Tom, I'll send it back to you.
And what a treat that was. We certainly thank him for coming on, and just an absolute, you know what, Tom, it looks like we were right again. We said there was a special gift. We had that feeling, and once again, that was correct. As the fourth quarter gets underway, quarterback sneak up the middle, fighting his way forward, gets all the way down to around the Amherst 35-yard line. And so Starpoint mixing it up again as the fourth quarter gets underway, all tied at 14.
I actually saw Keyshawn before the game, and he's wearing, underneath that jacket, is the maroon shirt that says Cheektowaga football. He's got it on. I wanted him to say, that would have been the perfect to say, if he was wearing that maroon, he should have unzipped the jacket right there and could have showed it off.
Like Superman.
That's exactly what we were waiting to see. And he was like that on the field. He was amazing to witness out there on the field. He was something.
2 receivers either side, shotgun snap, fires it to the far sideline, pass deflected up in the air, but that's going to drop to the field. You can breathe, Starpoint fans. It almost looked like that was destined for an interception. Instead, it's just an incomplete.
But again, another well-thrown pass there by LaPlante, where it was an opportunity where his guy could actually make that catch.
Yes, indeed, and it just seems like it's in and out, sometimes maybe a little bit too much by some of those, but for the most part, what a game he has been having, LaPlante, so far for the Spartans. And tied at 14, it all comes down to this fourth quarter. 2 receivers either side. The snap, fades back, looking, fires it near side, got a man on the run, 20, 15, 10, digs, near corner, goes for the goal line, and he gets in there for the Starpoint touchdown. And that is how you respond. Another great move. He deked the defender nearly out of his cleats there, Tom, and he fought his way forward, gets to the end zone, and it is now 20-14 Starpoint, 11:07 to go in regulation. What a huge play right there. Pitch and catch, well done all the way around by the Spartans there.
Every time you think that momentum goes the other way, boom, something happens and we get a momentum switch. And here we are again, momentum back to Starpoint.
Extra point up, and it was low, but it was good, and that's the important part. That almost looked like a little bit of a knuckler, too. It was dangerously close, but it's good. And so at the 11:07 to go in the fourth, Starpoint 21, Amherst 14, and what a game we've had so far, Tom.
Really have. Look at these shots Mario's getting out there.
Mario Hall. Mario Hall, he's just absolutely tremendous. He's a wizard. So is our other cameraman tonight, Russ Battaglia, Heidi Gunther, our producer, Francis Beck, bringing it all night long with the interviews, and Tom Prince, my color commentator. Just all around doing a great job bringing you this game.
And John, it's you're the man leading the way right here, so doing a fantastic job yourself. And I'll tell you, this is going to be interesting because I see Conley Cup guys out there. I see Trench Trophy guys out there. You're going to see some awards come out of this game for some guys. I won't be surprised we see some nominations come out this way.
Absolutely. I mean, and you know what? Defenses have played well, but the offense is starting to take over. As that was a kick down the far side, angled and fielded there cleanly at around the 45 for the Tigers. So Amherst, needing to respond, gets good field position. That's really been the story of this game, Tom.
Yeah.
Seems like for the most part, both teams have actually gotten pretty good field position.
Well, I think this is some of the best Amherst has had, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Amherst probably hasn't had the great field position that Starpoint has.
Starpoint certainly has had better. It seems like half the time they're starting in opponent territory. But, I mean, we've seen Amherst at around the 35 and now here at the 45. So, they've been the recipient. Now let's see if they can take advantage. This is, I agree with you, Tom, probably their best starting point all night. Going to go with Brown under center, backs in the offset eye, bunch formation, handoff straight up the middle, going forward, and plows his way for a pickup of 1 or 2. Not a whole lot there. It's going to be second down. I think their Starpoint just sealed up the holes nicely, Tom.
Yep, and again, especially that's the gap he ran up for the big run till he broke. Even though he broke it out to the outside eventually, it was up that A gap is where it started. So obviously, it's an adjustment that you want to see the Starpoint defense make, and they do that right there. But it just shows, like I said, it only takes one run from him to do something special, and they want to make sure they stop that from happening right now because they got themselves a lead. And this could be very interesting because they may go for 2. If they get down there.
Yes.
And that could be, I could keep talking this special teams thing, right?
Yep, handoff up the middle. It's a draw play, gets across the 50, and just makes it in to Starpoint territory at the 48 or 49-yard line. Nice pickup there. As, again, one thing about Amherst that you got to give them credit for, too, they are sticking to their guns. Even though they've had the ups and downs and at times hasn't worked as great for them as I'm sure they would have liked, they continue with the HB draws. They continue with that game plan. And right now on this drive, it appears to be working again.
Yeah, and you got to, right? It's what got you here. You're 10 games into it. It's what got you here. And you got a running back that's as good as he is. You got to do this.
And now it's another one straight up the middle, up across the 45, gets close to the 40, taken down on the ankle tackle at around the 41. And so Starpoint able to make the tackle, but not before a decent gain. And I believe that was Derek Nepel, number 45, on the coverage that time for Starpoint. 9:24 to go here in regulation. 21-14 is our score in favor of visiting Starpoint. Tom Prince, John Karuba taking you through this one. Backs in the eye, 1 receiver wide left, 4 on the line for the Spartans. The snap, and it's a pitch to the near side. Nice cutback. Gets back to the line. Not going to get a whole lot more than that, though, Tom, as he goes down around the 40-yard line of Starpoints. As, again, they just tried to toss it towards that near sideline. It was nifty move to get back up the middle, but just right there, good job by Starpoint, just staying true to their coverage and knocking them down. We have 8:38 left to go. Here, regulation 21-14 Starpoint. Amherst down the field, north to south end zone, right to left. Man in motion to the right side. Barrett backs in the eye. The snap, handoff, right side. He's on the move, gets up across the 35, and finally gets taken down in the open field. And so that brings up what looks to be third down here for the Tigers. John Karuba on the call right now along with Tom Prince. If you're wondering how we got to this point, well, Amherst, what feels like a million years ago, did score first, but give them credit, Starpoint came roaring back, 2 consecutive touchdowns, and then Amherst was able to tie it on a long run And then Starpoint taking a lead here early in the fourth, and that's where we stand right now, 21-14 for the Spartans. Tigers, meanwhile, hand it off up the middle again, fighting his way forward, gets up close to the 30-yard line, gets taken down on the ankle tackle, and it looks like he was close. I'm not sure he got it, but he was close to a first down there.
Okay, I had to find something out because 53 for Starpoint has been all over the field, and we have not been able to talk about his name. So I got up and went over to the coaches to ask. George Thompson is who it is for Starpoint, is having a game right there on the defensive side of the ball. Deserves his recognition, but we have him 51 on the roster, so we apologize. George Thompson, you deserve some credit as you've been coming up big.
So we solved the mystery of George Thompson's number. Handoff goes up the middle, and it looks like that's going to be enough to move the chains again. First down for Amherst, and slowly but surely, Tom, you're starting to see the persistence of the Tigers paying off in the run game. They are moving it down in increments, but the important thing is they keep getting the first.
And that's what it's all about, right? And listen, this may come down to what we've talked about, right? This may come down to special teams winning or losing this game.
So again, going to go out of the I formation set, 2 receivers left. Amherst likes to go to that a lot. The snap, and it's a handoff up the middle, fighting his way, chugging his way along there. However, only gets a couple of yards, but give him credit. He refuses to go down. It took about 4 or 5 Spartans to get in there to finally take him to the grass. As we have 6 minutes left to go, grab your popcorn, folks. We are late in the game, 4 quarters, 6 minutes left, 21-14 Starpoint, but Amherst is on the move. Right to left down the field.
You got to love when it's on paper, right? A good game, and then it really comes to fruition like
Yes.
that. And that's exactly what's happened here.
Bunch formation set, and it is a handoff up the middle. And they'll pick up 3, maybe 4. And then the ball looks like it came out after, but Amherst was right there. But I believe the runner was already down. And so that's going to be second down for the Tigers. As the Spartans really trying to do everything they can to stiffen here. Your offense just got you the lead back. And now the Tigers are answering. You know, the defense, let's see if Starpoint, you know, we've talked about Amherst making a ton of big stops. Now it's Starpoint's defense turn.
Yep, I agree. And but a big third down. Remember, you're going to get 2 shots at this. You're going for it down here.
No
you have to
question.
with 5 minutes left.
No question. Snap, handoff up the middle. Running back gets free. Zigs far side and finally gets brought down at around the 13 or 14. So Amherst, they are really, really getting close now, Tom. You could tell the heat is really dialing up, and that's what you want, right? Especially under the lights, Thursday Night Football on WNY Athletics.
And I'll tell you, you've seen the last couple days in Western New York. Looks like we got a little bit of an injury on the field. You've seen here in Western New York, especially the last couple mornings and nights, this fog starting to settle in. I don't know if you see it, John, but take a look out under the lights. You're starting to see that starting to happen here.
Yeah.
It's not really thick, so you don't know if all of a sudden it's going to come in, but we definitely have a little bit of fog out there. And you could kind of see it even on the screen. It's not as bright as it was before because you got something going on out there. So you wondered, because it can turn quick, and we've seen that happen many times. Does it come into play in this game, which would be very interesting.
I mean, this is high school Western New York football playoff weather, folks, as we get into the early days of November.
But come on. This has been like a season to remember when it comes to weather. I mean, we really have had unbelievable weather the entire season. I mean, there really hasn't been a bad day out there.
No, it's been you couldn't ask for more from Mother Nature. So everyone here at WNY Athletics, we appreciate her cooperation with us not having too many bad weather games. Handoff right up the middle, fights his way across the 10, got down to about the 5. I want to say maybe the 6 or 7 of the Spartans, but the Tigers really getting close now, Tom.
It's funny, if you remember this point at last year, right? So we're 1 week from the stadium. The stadium, if you remember, the Saturday games, we got to the stadium with a good 4 or 5 inches of snow that we were driving. I don't
Yes.
remember how much it was, but there was snow. I remember taking pictures up in the press box at the stadium to the snow that was out there on the field. So we're a week away from that last year.
Wow. Well, let's see if maybe this time it holds up. Handoff up the middle. Draw play still going. Fighting his way in. Did he get in? Waiting for the signal. Yes! Yes! The official puts his arms in the air. You know, everybody knows what that means. Touchdown, Tigers. And not so fast, Tom. This roller coaster, seesaw, back and forth. The fair keeps going. And with 3:34 to go, 21-20 for the moment for Starpoint. Now, the question you are they going to go for 2 or just take the 1 for the tie here?
You know, and again, this is what we've been talking about, right? That special teams is the difference. And that, you know, I know it sounds funny, but here you go, right? You're going to see it come to fruition right here. You make the stop, it could be, you know what I mean, a recipe for a win for Starpoint. You get it, and it flips to the other side, right, for Amherst, and they are going to go for this.
They are going for it. You got to give them credit. Regardless of what happens, you got to give the Tigers credit. They got guts. Because I just take the extra point right here.
But they may not have a kicker. I mean, there are a lot of teams in Western New York that doesn't have kickers.
That's a good point. That's right. Because they had to go for 2 even to tie it at 14.
And
so that's a good point.
If you look, I mean, they do have somebody that kicks.
And now it looks like
they're taking
timeout.
Starpoint took a timeout, is what it was.
Yeah, I think Starpoint didn't like the matchup they saw on the field.
So they have the listed number 21, Brady. Oh no, that's Starpoint. I apologize. Amherst, we don't have kickers listed, any positions listed on the roster. So, you know, if we look at the roster side by side, it's a small roster for Amherst. They don't have a big roster, so my guess is there's not a kicker out there.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I forgot with Amherst they had to take the 2-point conversion just to tie it.
Yep.
Normally you would think 14, 2 extra points.
But you remember they started when they scored the first time. They went for it, right?
They went for it.
So that's a sign that they usually don't have a kicker out there that they're going to go ahead and do it, especially when it's the first touchdown like that. That's the recipe to be able to tell.
Starpoint's the one that's been kicking the extra points. So there we go. Now we got that straightened out. 3:34 to go. It's still 21-20. And now Amherst going for it all or nothing on this play. They're going to go with backs in the eye. The snap, handoff to the middle, and nowhere to run as he tried to cut it to the near side. Starpoint came charging through that hole. And I want to say Gage LaPlante was involved in that. And also it was George Thompson, the man.
LaPlante's the one who made that tackle.
It was
LaPlante. He busted through. It was LaPlante.
It was LaPlante. And then I saw Thompson running off the field as well. But, yes, it was LaPlante who made one of the biggest plays of the game so far, Tom. And Starpoint keeps the lead, 21-20. How about that?
Your quarterback does it on defense, right? I mean, we talked about him. We've said this. This is the wrestler. This is the mentality. This is exactly what you want from there. And he comes up big right now to lead his team.
So it's like they say, you want to win a game yourself, you want something done right, sometimes you got to do it yourself. And that's exactly what LaPlante's doing on both sides of the ball. He's been incredible. One-man wrecking crew out there.
He really is.
Been a lot of fun to watch.
He really has. And he's done it, just about every facet of the game right here. Just unbelievable right here. But listen, you can't go, though, 3 and out.
No. And now on the kickoff, whistles come in immediately, as that was going to be interesting there up that near sideline. But
it looks like it's offsides right there by Amherst, so they're going to need to kick it again.
Yeah, that one was up for grabs, though. I mean, it was like just poink and everybody just free fall.
But I'll tell you, like I said, you can't go 3 and out. There's 3:37 left in this game right now. So listen, there's enough time right here for Amherst to do something. And I want everybody to remember in high school football, every time there's a first down, that clock will stop to move the chains. So to do that, in essence, it's helping you get your team to the line to do things.
And the onside kick down that near sideline, handled nicely that time. That was a beautiful play there by Starpoint because that got a lot of elevation under it. You know, it's very easy to misplay something like that, but that kind of had shades of Micah Hyde there going soaring up in the air to come down with that. As, again, just another great camera shot there by Mario Hall. And, again, he just continues to give us the great shots all game long, Tom.
And then that was actually Luke Davis who made that play right there on that onside. Does a great job of going up, getting it, and bringing it down. Great job there by Luke Davis. But, cheerleaders, they deserve just as much attention as anybody out there in the field. The time they put in, what they do. You know, you ever go to a cheerleader competition. It is unbelievable to watch some of the things you see.
It really is. They're going to go with 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right for Starpoint. Left to right. LaPlante takes the snap, and again going to take it himself as he'll fight his way for a few yards, but he'll be stopped down just shy of the Amherst 45-yard line. So for the Spartans, you now have an opportunity up 21-20 to kind of put the hammer down and the axe down in this game. If you could find a way to get a touchdown, really put yourself in a good commanding position late in the game.
Oh, absolutely. But I think you don't even need the touchdown. You really just need to control the clock at this point. Because think about a touchdown, you can still keep Amherst in this game.
Because that's still a one-score game unless you hit the 2-point conversion. That is true as well. Going to work out of the shotgun, empty backfield, 2 receivers either side. LaPlante takes it up the middle. He shuffles away from one would-be tackler, gets forward to about the 40-yard line, and meanwhile the clock continues to tick. We have 2:37 left to go and counting, and Starpoint clinging to the 1-point edge. And again, what a game we've been treated to, Tom. You know, we were excited about it coming in, and it's lived up to it. It has been, we've seen a little bit of everything. Good defense, good offense. Really been a very sound, very entertaining ball game. Fast moving also, start to finish.
We even did a lot of the Chunk Funky Bowls last year, and there were some of the best football games we've seen. And it's a great matchup. I love 2 evenly teams matched up.
And it's a quarterback sneak up the middle to try to get the first down. And did he get it? Boy, it'll depend where they spot it. It looked like forward progress was going to be enough, and he does get it. So it is a first down for the Spartans, and every first down they get, Tom, it really, you hit the nail right on the head. It's almost like a touchdown. It's even better.
And it looks like Amherst is going to call timeout right here
so
to stop that clock.
Yeah, making them take their timeouts. With 1:54 to go, Starpoint still leading 21-20. We're here at Amherst High School. And again, want to shout out our cameramen, Mario Hall, Russ Battaglia have been outstanding. Heidi Gunther, our producer. Francis back down on the sidelines with the interviews. And, of course, Tom Prince, color commentator, as we are thrilled to be able to bring you this game tonight here at Amherst. And, again, what a game it's been.
And like I said, tomorrow on the NFHS Network, we're going to have Jamestown, Kenmore West. We're also going to have Medina and Fredonia. So we've got 2 fantastic matchups that we're going to be able to be broadcasting on the NFHS Network.
And it's a snap right up the middle, gets away from one, and then he's immediately stuck up there by a couple defenders. And that is going to bring up second down now here. And a timeout called again by Amherst, and this is exactly playing into what the Spartans want. Just keep taking the timeouts, just keep melting the clock.
And tomorrow I am gonna play dad tomorrow, and it could be for the last time out on the field. As those of you that watch know that, or may have heard, Luke Prince, my son, plays for Orchard Park, and he'll get the opportunity to play against a incredible team of Bennett. And every game from here on in that I go to for Luke could be his last one. And Luke is my youngest of 3 kids, so will be my last one, period, as a dad when it comes to, the football season.
You must be very proud. And I want to say congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. And he
do.
really has had a fantastic season. First week he got a Trench Trophy nomination.
Nice.
We'll see if where it goes from there. But I think he's had a hell of a season.
And on this draw play to the left side, not really a whole lot of room to run, a gain of maybe a yard at most. Throw down. It's weird the way that play moved. I was a little worried for a half second the ball may have come out, but no, he had it, but there are a bunch of Tigers right there to contain him.
Yep. And here you go, third down, right? You got
Yes.
1:30 right now left.
1 point game. Yeah, it's
obviously they can't stop the clock anymore, right?
No more timeouts for Amherst. So for Starpoint, you're obviously probably not going to, as much as you'd like to get the first down and keep leading, you're probably not going to throw for it because you don't want to risk either a turnover or the clock stopping. So I would imagine they're probably just going to run. And now a whistle comes in.
Starpoint timeout.
So Starpoint now taking a timeout. Interesting. They must want to make sure they're on the same page. And so we will step aside here. 1:03 to go on WNY Athletics. Starpoint by 1.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in
Back here at Amherst High School, the 1:03 to go, folks. All comes down to this. Starpoint left to right up 21-20, and it's a keeper right up the middle and nowhere for him to run. He is hauled down in the backfield, hog-tied there by a couple Starpoint or Amherst defenders. And so Amherst looks like they'll get the ball back, but they're not going to have a lot of time, Tom, to get it down the field.
No, I mean, they still have another play to run. So, I mean, you know what I mean? This is fourth down.
This is fourth down.
So they're pretty much want to try to run the clock out on this play.
Yeah, so it's pretty much almost all sealed up, barring any sort of mistake with inside 30 seconds to go. But still, what a tremendous game we've had. Yeah, both teams should be very proud of the way they're playing so far.
Special teams was the difference.
That's right. It ultimately was.
There's not close games. That's what happens, right? And really you're talking about the 2 stops on 2-point conversions is the win right there for Starpoint. And I kept saying, saying this, if Starpoint keeps winning this special teams battle, right, what happens? Well, what happens is they get themselves a win.
And that ultimately, they made Amherst use all their timeouts as the man goes in motion. Still 21-20 our score.
Oh, they're going to punt it.
So they are going to punt it. Downfield left to right. Yeah, I thought that it may have been fourth down. I think what they're doing is just they figure if they punt it, not only does it kill more of the time, it's at this point, it would take a miracle for Amherst right now. And they all came trying to block that, and it goes out of bounds along the near sideline at around the 45.
Yeah, it was obviously he was trying to directional punt, so it couldn't be returned, right? That's what he was trying to do. Unfortunately, it wasn't as far that he wanted it to go on that one.
He was trying to angle it. Those are, I've heard those are even more difficult because you really got to get it, and also you're angling it off your foot instead of just coming straight through the football. So that is a little bit tricky there, as there is 14 seconds remaining here. 21-20 Starpoint. As we said, Tom, ultimately not a lot of time for Amherst here, but they do have it already at around the 44-45. But even to get to field goal range, they're going to need quite a few yards.
I don't think they can kick a field goal,
and they
so
can't
it doesn't
kick a
matter.
field goal. So they got to go to the end zone or maybe a lateral, and I think that's what they were trying right there, and instead it just goes over the hands of Caleb Nicholas as he was trying to reel that in. pass a little too hot, and it goes incomplete.
I think Nicholas was looking to
Yes.
create something there.
Yeah,
he was coming back, and he had a lane. I think
Yeah.
he saw that lane open up for him.
His eyes widened, and again, what did we talk about, Tom? That's a cardinal sin. He started to run, go upfield before catching it. There's still another 11 seconds left. Second down here. Shotgun. One receiver right. 3 to the left. The snap. Rolling right. Looks. Off balance throw to the far side. That is broken up, but flags come in. I see 2 of them. There may even have been 3, but we do know there are flags down. And so Amherst certainly is going to gain some yardage off of this.
Yeah, I would think that was passing interference. Looked like he got there a little bit early is what happened. And now you're going to see. Now, remember, nothing is an automatic first down with interferences. The yards have to get you it. The yards will in this case. But remember, there are only 4 different calls in high school sports, high school football. That's an automatic first down. It's running into the kicker, running into the holder, running into the punter, or quarterback. Right? Any of those 4 that come into play, those are your only automatic first downs. Otherwise, you have to get it with yards.
But, I'll say this. For what a great game we've had, wouldn't it be something else if Amherst wins it on a last-second throw to the end zone or a crazy play? Let's see. 6 seconds left. Shotgun snap. Rolling right. Brown going to heave it towards the end zone, and that is broken up, almost intercepted. However, I think that is the end of the game.
0.9 seconds on the clock.
9/10 of the second
we can't put that on our clock, but it is less than a second right now.
Amherst has one more crack at it to try, but that was crazy. And, Starpoint, they almost had the game-sealing interception. Instead, we got one more shot for Amherst. Yeah, it's not like basketball where you can put 0.9 up. But basically 1 second, 0.9 tenths. Point is Tigers get one more shot. Fans on their feet. Going to go shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. The snap, fading back, fires it deep to the end zone. Far side, intercepted there by Starpoint. And then they slide into their own end zone. That is the end of the game. And so they end up pulling out the victory. And it was picked off by Phil Piranelli, it looks like. So, we talked about how LaPlante was doing it all. Piranelli has been big on the offensive side, and he just came up with the game-clinching interception to win this game for Starpoint. Your final score, Starpoint 21, Amherst 20. But, Tom, what a game. In fact, it was such a good game. Where do you want to start as far as breaking this down?
First of all, I think something happened here at the end of this game.
Yeah.
The way he went back into the end zone.
Yeah.
That's what they're all talking about right now. Is this game, hold on, is not officially over. They have not called this game. They're talking about how he went into the end zone. See, they're talking. They have not called the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that is worth watching in a 1-point game.
So they must have now called it. Now the refs are going. I thought they were talking about it there for a minute. But that was what the complaint was right there.
I will say, and that's actually good by Amherst to at least wanting them to check that out and talk about it. It probably would have been better served for Piranelli to just maybe either run out of bounds at the 1 or the 2 or just, but at the same time, you don't want to risk, potentially losing it or anything else.
He went down, though. Remember, in high school football, the minute you touch the ground, you're down. You don't have to be touched. You don't have to be anything.
That is a good point.
So he went down still in the field of play and then got up and went into the end zone. So to me, he was still down, and that's where the play stopped.
So the play was dead. So the rest really didn't matter. So I believe, as Tom here pointed out, like I said, the high school football wizard pointed out next to me, I believe that is correct. So the reality is it ends up being the victory, and I think it was the right call. But, Tom, now we can get to the post-game breaking it down. What a ball game this was.
It really was. And it was everything we talked about during the broadcast kind of is what it was. I thought Amherst, You want to tip your cap. An awesome game. This is something to build off. We said they hadn't played 10 games in a season since 93. That you tip your cap on. You build off as a coach. You take the program to the next level. You had right now, Nicholas has had an incredible year. He had an incredible run at touchdown to tie this thing up. He put the team on his back, did it also on defense. You got to love what they did here at Amherst. And I'll tell you, this Starpoint team is young. This is a kind of victory that you can build off and take into next year and make sure you're a team that you can really be a team that you've got to worry about next year. I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about the Starpoint team next year, and we'll be talking about it early. Love what they're going to bring to the table. And I'll tell you right now, and we'll let everybody know because we do have it on the field, they're doing the Character Athletes Awards right now. So the character athlete of the game, it's what Keyshawn Beal had told us about that he is actually doing work with right now. So you'll get a chance to hear those awards, who they actually award out in this. But listen, it was everything you want. Like LaPlante, come on, this kid did everything out on the field, right? I mean, from running the ball, from throwing the ball, from defense. How many stops did the kid make on defense
including on the 2-point conversion? Amherst gets that. It's a different game.
You know, Piranelli, you had your game, man. You ended the game the way you wanted to. You started off the game you wanted to. It really was everything that you look for from a team right here that you really needed to build off and show some future. Your seniors going out the right way in Piranelli, right? Just a great game. So it looks like the first Character Athlete Award is going to go to number 55, Jack Dossinger for Amherst. He's your first one right there. And then we'll see who they're going to award out right now for Starpoint. And, it was a great game. Had fun calling it with you again. I'm glad that we got a chance to call this game.
Oh, yeah. And it was, it's funny. It's kind of like how Paul Hamilton for the Sabres, what he'll say a lot of times. In games like these, your best players have to be your best players. And I think for Starpoint, as you pointed out, that definitely was the case. And even for Amherst, I would say as well, as it looks like number 76, Frank O'Connor, does take home that award for Starpoint. So congratulations to him. And what a great ball game. And that's going to about wrap things up here. So one more time at the Chuck Funky Ball, it was a huge victory, 21-20 for Starpoint over Amherst. But one more time before we sign off, we want to thank our cameramen, Mario Hall, Russ Battaglia, Heidi Gunther, our producer, Francis Beck, giving you the interviews on the sidelines and doing that work all throughout the game. And, of course, my friend Tom Prince over here, wonderful job. And I am John Karuba. One last time, your final score tonight, Starpoint 21, Amherst 20, and you watched it right here on WNY Athletics. Good night, everybody.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.